Why do most men not want to celebrate their birthdays? I don't understand it.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back with another What Took TikTok video. We're going to be discussing the subject on why men do not like to celebrate their birthdays. A woman came on TikTok posing the question and it led to a much bigger discussion. So I compiled a few videos. We're going to go ahead and watch them together and I'm going to come back at the end to discuss. So let's go in and see what's up.
Why do most men not want to celebrate their birthdays? I don't understand it. My husband does not enjoy celebrating his birthday at all. And I'm now part of this dance friends group, and one of our friends' birthdays is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I said, "Hey, what are we doing for your birthday?" And he's like, "Nothing. I don't celebrate my birthday." And I said, "Oh, well, we're going to celebrate you this year." And everyone chimed in, "Yes, absolutely." So booked a restaurant for dinner. And then today he texted and he's like, "Hey, so what if we do it at my house instead? And I could invite a couple more people, but I don't want to tell them it's my birthday." And we're like, "What? Why? Why? Who cares? Why do you not want to tell them it's your birthday?" And then someone else asked, "Hey, what's your favorite kind of cake? I'll bring a cake." And he's like, "No cake. Please, no cake. This is not a birthday party, blah, 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 blah." Another guy in the group chimed in and is like, "Yeah, I don't really celebrate my birthday either, so I totally understand." And we're like, what is the big deal? Why are you so anti-birthday celebration? I am the biggest birthday celebrator you'll ever meet. I had 2 birthday dinners. I was supposed to fly to New York. It's like birthday weeks, birthday month. I love to celebrate. I love any excuse to celebrate, but my birthday especially. So I'm just curious, are you a man who doesn't celebrate your birthday? Why? Or are you married to someone or partnered with someone who doesn't celebrate his birthday? I don't get it. Help me understand.
So initially when I watched this video, I was like, yeah, why don't guys like to celebrate their birthday? I have noticed that is like a running theme amongst men that I know in my life personally. So I was like, let me look at the comments and see what the guys are saying because, they probably have some valid reasons as to why they don't want to celebrate their birthday. I was sadly mistaken. I mean, as usual, if you're familiar with TikTok, then you know that the men on TikTok, they are so fucking miserable. But these are some of the comments that I came across and I was just shaking my head. So let's get into it. Why would I celebrate the day when all of my problems started? We are not self-centered and materialistic. Because anything nice that is done for us is often just thrown in our face later. It's easier to just not care. Y'all asked what he wanted, and he said it. No one listened. Pretty self-explanatory. Because we're tired of getting socks from people who expect vacations. The irony. Woman asks, "What do you want for your birthday?" Man replies, "Nothing." Woman responds, "You're wrong, strange, for no B-day." Gets one anyway, providing the men what is not important. We want peace. Celebrations aren't peaceful. Plus, it feels performative. Celebrating it with peace and quiet is the most preferred way for 90% of men. We don't want attention, we just want respect. Most men understand full well no one actually cares that much. We don't want something out of pity or duty. Most holidays and special events are for women and kids. Just leave it be with peace. Because we end up paying for them or getting what the woman wants us to have. It's never about us. I just like being the center of attention. So my first thought after reading these comments was, who hurt these guys and why aren't they in therapy unpacking all of these negative feelings? A TikTok comment section is not the place to unpack these feelings. And the only comment that I felt that was actually valid were from the men that are pointing out the fact that they asked their friend what they wanted for their birthday. They were told he didn't want anything for his birthday. And rather than respecting those wishes, they proceeded to try and plan this big, huge party that he didn't ask for. That was 100% valid, and I do understand that women are definitely guilty for doing things nobody asked for and probably jumping the gun. Even though they think what they're doing is coming from a good place, it is very dismissive, and we should respect people's feelings. If they don't want a birthday party, we 100% should leave it at that. That being said, a lot of these men's feelings come from a place of unresolved trauma. And unfortunately, it's not anybody's job to resolve that trauma but them. And it really burns my bridges that men oftentimes neglect to, unpack their issues and instead just bleed all over everybody else, and it's not cool. But there were a couple responses to this woman's video, so let's jump in and see what they had to say.
Why do most men not want to celebrate their birthdays?
Because most women are horrible at celebrating men's birthdays. If you ask most men what they would want to do to celebrate their birthday, they're probably going to say nothing. Maybe go to dinner, maybe hang out with a friend or their friends. Usually it's going to be like nothing, let's just go get dinner. But when women want to celebrate a man's birthday, they usually do too much. They want to throw like a big party with a bunch of people that he probably doesn't even want there. Then he feels like he has to put effort into being social. Or they like make it this big to do, and that's not what he wants. Because it's not actually about what he wants, it's about what you want to do for him. I've had 2 birthdays with my girlfriend. The first one I said, I do not want a gift, please. Just let's go to dinner. She booked a great dinner. It was amazing. The second birthday, I was like, I need to allow her to do a little bit more. This is also about her getting to give and getting the joy from doing that. We went and saw a concert in a different city on my birthday. She booked a hotel room. It was great. I loved it. Ladies, listen to me. If you have a man, ask him what he wants to do for his birthday. If he says nothing, say okay and do nothing. Or you can say, how about just dinner, me and you? He'll probably say okay. If he says, I don't care, that also means nothing. Just book a dinner somewhere nice, somewhere that he will like, and let that be it.
Truly don't know how I'm able to figure this stuff out without a therapist at times, but what if guys don't celebrate their birthday as a response to being used to not being celebrated on their birthday? I think a majority of men can relate to the fact of after a certain age, maybe 12, people stop caring about their birthday, and it wasn't a big party as it used to be when you was a kid and you threw your birthday party at bowling alleys, laser tags, and things like that. So as young men get older, they just start becoming numb to their birthday and saying, oh, it don't matter, as in a response. I don't want to call it trauma, but some people may call it trauma, but it's just a response to lower their expectations for everybody around them because they just understand that no one's going to care about them and or just care about their birthday. So what's the point of having that expectation? As someone that doesn't like to celebrate their birthday, I've always noticed that when it comes to my birthday and or just holidays in general, I tend to be in a mood because what's the point of being excited because no one's going to be excited with me? So I just lower my expectations and it affects my mood of being, instead of being happy, I start to become, I don't say sad, but it's like nonchalant, definitely nonchalant. And it's probably just because people around me stop celebrating my birthday. So what's the point of having that expectation? What if guys don't celebrate their birthday as a response to being used to not being celebrated on their birthday?
Yeah, that's it for real. My 15th birthday, I invited over 40 people to come. Niggas from my class and then a couple close friends, shit like that. Only 3 people came, bro. And then one of them left because there wasn't no people. I was embarrassed as fuck, bro. My parents spent all this money expecting people to come because they all said that they was gonna go. So you can just imagine how the fuck I felt. The crazier part is that I have a homie that had a birthday immediately right after mine. He invited me to his birthday shit, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm finna go because, you know, that's my dog. We got the same set of friends. All them motherfuckers showed up to his shit, but not mine. I kept shit cool. I wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it because, nigga, clearly that just showed me who everybody fuck with. And I'm not even making it a competition thing. Like, nigga, he was just a cool ass nigga, but I thought I was too. From that point on, bro, I'll just stop giving a fuck about my birthday. And that might not be healthy, but honestly, I'm happier with it this way. I have lower expectations. I really just be grateful for the ones that be saying shit to me. And if you don't, that's cool. I get it, because life be lifing. But to me, as a grown ass adult, my birthday is just another day. It's really not a sad story, I promise. I really feel like I should be the only one that cares anyway.
Why are men always okay with doing nothing for their birthday? I'm about to tell you exactly why. When we were younger, only reason we're having those parties and celebrating those birthdays was because our moms were doing it. I don't know about y'all, but my mom, my aunties, they always used to go crazy for my birthdays when I was younger. That was the only reason I was really going. I don't remember asking for birthday parties. Maybe I did. I don't remember it. But when I was younger, that's why. As I grew older, it became more and more on myself to start organizing my birthday. And I feel like that, you know, the one thing on my birthday that I want is peace. And I don't want to have to organize, plan, orchestrate, or be stressed out on my birthday. So I think this is really why a lot of men do nothing for their birthday, because we don't want to have stress on that birthday. That's the one day where we just want to think like, dang, okay. But I don't want to think about too much. And then also too, when you start thinking about it though, like each year, every birthday as a man, like once you really start growing up though, you start to think like, dang, at 18, I ain't have my life together. 19, I don't got my life together. 20, I ain't got my life together. It starts becoming more and more real that like, yo, I got to figure this shit out. So you got to think every year, every birthday, you're literally thinking, wow, what did I accomplish? What did I do? A year's gone by. Time is flying by. I'm getting older. And what do I have to show for it? And I think sometimes as a man, that can really, really like just be a lot to think about, especially right around your birthday. It's not like, oh, wow, I made another year. Let's turn up. Like, no, it just depends. It depends on what stage you're in life and what you've done. And then lastly, I do think we do things for our birthdays. I think we do simple things. Like for me, I know each year I get cheesecake. I hate regular cake. Do not buy me cake for my birthday. If you buy me cake for my birthday, you don't know me. I like cheesecake only. I'm not doing no regular cake, regular frosting. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going for it. So yeah, I actually think every guy out there just has something small that they do that they keep to themselves, or maybe share with a few people about who they are and what they enjoy doing on their birthday. But it's definitely not the same as what girls want to do for their birthday. I'll say that.
Okay, so based on the response videos as well as the captions we saw in the original video, I was able to pick up on a couple themes that the men were expressing. One being that, you know, nobody is really jumping at the opportunity to celebrate them in the way that their mother and their family once did when they were younger, i.e. throwing laser tag parties, bowling parties, birthday cakes, and such. The next being that there is a fear of being let down by people in their personal lives, which is what that one guy was talking about, where he planned a birthday party when he was a teenager and nobody showed up. So fear of feeling those feelings again. Another thing that I noticed from men that I noticed in other videos was maybe something traumatic happened to them around their birthday party, and they kind of just haven't been able to celebrate their birthdays since in a positive way. And lastly, with the people in the comments that were saying, oh, we're not narcissistic or we aren't self-centered, that really came across as feelings of jealousy that women are often celebrated for their birthdays and aren't judged for wanting to celebrate their birthdays. Like a lot of the times we know as women, we have birthday parties because we planned it. We have birthday trips because we planned it with our friends. You know, we have these big, huge birthday weekends and birthday themes and photo shoots and all that because we planned it. So it's not that we're just getting this stuff from being just for being a girl. Like that's not how this works. We have these beautiful celebrations because we put the work in to pull them off. And there is nothing stopping men from doing the same. And it really bothers me when men try to make it seem like just because they're a man, they automatically are X'd out of experiencing these things. Nobody is keeping you from going out of town with your boys and turning up in Cabo. Nobody's stopping you from having a birthday party, inviting your nearest and dearest, and celebrating the night away. Nobody's stopping you from that. If anything, the only thing that's stopping you is your own personal fears of being associated, fears of being called, quote unquote, gay, fears of being called soft. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, words do have power, but you know who you are, and your real friends will never judge you for wanting to have a good time on your birthday, the one day that's meant to be about you. You feel me? And, harboring those negative feelings really does make men come across as bitter. And they often direct that towards women, which is really not the right way to go about it. You're really just mad at misogyny and the patriarchy. You are mad at your conditioning, how you've been conditioned to perform masculinity in this world. And it's always interesting to me that they never do the work to unpack that and ultimately free themselves of those feelings. But that leads me to this next video, which was a response to the original video from a therapist, and she gives us some insight on information she's collected from her clients on the subject of birthdays.
Bunch of my followers tagged me in this creator's video, which was a reply video to a different video she had go viral. So Dr. Audra here. For those who haven't seen the original video, she and a group of friends were trying to plan a birthday party for one of the guys in the group who was like pretty adamantly opposed to this. Like did not want to celebrate his birthday, didn't want to go out, didn't want to make a thing of it. Like, no, thank you. So she came to TikTok and said, what's going on? And men in the thousands came out to answer her. There were a series of responses. Some things like, my birthday was the day my trauma started. No, thank you. I don't want to relive that. It's just a day that I'll be disappointed because people won't actually show up and offer me the support and care and affection that I'm looking for. But in this reply video where I'm being tagged, she was stating how an alarming number of men were saying like, no, I don't celebrate my birthday because I'm not narcissistic. I'm not self-centered. I'm not materialistic. And she was like, WTF, where is this coming from? Why do they think it's self-centered to celebrate their birthday? Like, what? In the video, she explicitly says, like, is there a psychologist in America who could explain this to me? And like, hello, here I am. I will say my number one response to like what's going on is in the comments. It is powerful when we actually listen to men and we hear their experience and we don't try to overanalyze it. We don't try to make sense of it like through a women's lens, but we just take it for what it is and realize like, damn, if that is your conclusion, then clearly you've had experiences that have reinforced this and you've had people who have told you this and you've been taught that this is true. Instead of trying to change that, like, let's just take that in and realize like, wow, maybe the things that men are being taught and told and expected to be are different than what they are for women. But the other big thing that came up for me that I wanted to share was an experience that I've had as a therapist working with men. I think women may be surprised to know how many men sit in my office sharing their struggles, sharing their insecurities, sharing their shame, sharing their fears of not being good enough for the people in their lives. And then they look at me and they say, oh God, am I a narcissist? Like, I'm so caught up in myself. Am I a narcissist? That is not narcissist. The reality is I think so many men feel trapped in their own experiences, trapped in their shame, trapped in the self-doubt. They fear the judgment. They fear not being good enough. They fear they're unlovable. They believe they're unlovable. They believe they're unworthy. So now there's a day to celebrate you when so many of these men are fearful that they are not even offering the bare minimum of what they think is expected of them for their families. But now these same men are going to be expected to show up and say, yay me, let's celebrate. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with how so many men view themselves and how so many men view what they are worthy of. Men in my office and men here on social media always have a strong reaction when I use the word deserve. You deserve love. You deserve support. You deserve therapy. I didn't deserve that. I didn't earn that. I don't know. No, I don't deserve that. So why would we think they deserve a birthday party?
So I was kind of surprised that the therapist took the route that she did when discussing this issue. It seems like she more so went the route of coddling versus bringing the root of the issue to the forefront, which is that men are having a hard time reconciling their conditioning with how they truly feel on the inside. And it's super frustrating that this is always put back and dropped in the laps of women. Because at the end of the day, you can express these feelings till the cows come home, and these feelings are valid. I can only it must feel heavy to feel like you're not living up to society's standards, to feel like you're failing because you're not reaching those benchmarks that society has placed for men. It must feel really tough. But what are you doing to unpack these feelings? Have you challenged those ideas of why you feel like you need to reach those benchmarks? You know, those feelings are 100% valid, but what are they doing to process those feelings? How they identify how the people around them can help support them through these negative feelings around their birthdays? Have they identified why they feel they need to live up to the expectations of society and why it feels so heavy on their shoulders? And a lot of men have not done that, and it's really annoying that we have to go on TikTok and hear these lives from sun up to sundown about how there are no safe spaces for men and they're not allowed to be their true authentic selves, but in the same breath, they're not offering any solutions to these issues. Do you really want to challenge the status quo and change it for yourselves and future generations, or are you just wanting people to feel sorry for you? And a lot of the times, that's what it comes down to. If you want to be able to celebrate your birthday in the way that you want, do it. If you want to have a birthday party, throw your own birthday party. Women have birthday parties year after year because they plan it themselves. They get a good girlfriend together and they think about, where should we take our trip? Where should we have our dinner? What type of cake should we get? They plan it. They don't just wake up one day to a party out of nowhere. They are planning it. And it oftentimes feels like men are jealous of that. Or they have the wrong perception of it. Like, people don't just get birthday parties out of the clear blue sky. They even recognize, some of the guys even recognize that they had parties when they were younger because of their mothers and their aunties and their family members. They can recognize that those parties and celebrations took planning. So what makes you think in your adult years it'll be any different? It's just that as an adult, that planning falls on you. Also, if you're noticing the people in your life never celebrate you, then maybe it's time to reevaluate the people that you are having in your life. If you know that you would like to be celebrated, then it's time to get new friends. I don't understand why that never crosses their mind. If your friends don't celebrate you how you need to be celebrated, maybe they aren't your friends. Like, women drop friends all the time when they realize that their friends are low-key jealous of them or don't want the best for them or are not on the same wavelength as them. Like, men have 100% the same autonomy to drop friends that are not pouring into them the way they should be. And instead of doing that, they redirect that anger back on society instead of taking it out on the people it needs to be took out on, TBH. And it's really annoying. But as I was getting deep into TikTok about this, I actually found a situation that was on the other side of the spectrum, which I feel kind of better explains where the men are actually coming from.
So for my birthday, all I wanted to do was go to a damn pizza place that was 4 hours away. All right. I woke up on Saturday and said, you know what would be nice? If we went to that pizza place, let's just make a day trip out of it. We'll drive up there. We can have dinner. We can be home by midnight. That was the plan. And Haley said, well, baby, let's just get a hotel while we're up there and just make a whole trip out of it, a whole weekend thing. Yeah, you ready for this shit? So we get up there and they're like, oh, let's do that tomorrow night. We're tired. Let's just go eat somewhere else right now. So we just went and got some fast food. Went back to the hotel, swam in the pool. Next day, put all the rides, all the shit that the kids wanted to do. Granted, this is the reason we're going up here is get damn pizza. That was the whole reason to go there, get a damn pizza place. Haley says, you know what sounds good for lunch? Paula Dean's restaurant. I've never ate there. I've always wanted. Well, we did. And you said, we'll go eat pizza that night. Sure enough, after we eat Paula Dean's, shit, I'm stuffed. I ain't gonna be able to eat. We're just gonna have to come up here another time and go to the pizza place. Shit, you know what? We drove 4 hours, did all the shit that they want to do. The one reason we went up there is to go get damn pizza. We didn't even get the shit.
I'll take you tomorrow.
It's not even the fact now, Haley. And then, to top it all off, we passed it, we drive on home, we got home, Haley says, you know what? I was wanting to say it, but I didn't want to say it when we passed it. I could have went for that pizza place when we passed it. But you didn't say anything. I said, well, no, I was over the shit then.
Now, this poor guy clearly has a spouse who doesn't give a fuck about him. And I can understand how, if this is a recurrent issue, how it could cause you to be super frustrated and not even want to try at all. But in the same way that we tell women, if your man is constantly failing to meet your needs, you can leave. Men have the same exact option. Like, he might need to get a new spouse because there's no way in hell y'all drove 4.5 hours because you wanted pizza from this specific place and she managed to take up the whole time with what she wanted and the kids wanted and failed to neglect your needs. That is not okay. And I don't understand why men make it seem like they don't have the same option to want better for themselves. You can 100% want better for yourselves out of a partner and leave. No one's going to judge you for leaving a wife that did not care about you, that neglected your emotional needs. Nobody's going to judge you for that, and you have every right to move on. And I feel like if more men took the time to identify their actual needs and allow people to show up for them in the way they wanted to show up for them, they'll be a lot happier. Because you don't have to settle for somebody who doesn't care about you. You don't have to settle for friends who don't show up for you. You don't have to settle for family that doesn't see your value outside of your wallet. You don't have to settle for that. You are allowed to want more for yourself. And when you do, great things can come of it. Because I have some examples of men who have allowed the women and people in their lives to come through for them as they deserve. And I hope that this video gives men just more to think about when it comes to their birthday and what they want out of their lives. And know that you have the power to change your life. And you have the power to pursue whatever you want and get whatever you want out of life. Because who cares what anybody else thinks? You don't have to subscribe to what society wants you to subscribe to. You don't have to subscribe to the patriarchy. You don't have to subscribe to the conditioning that's been beaten into all of us since we were shorties. Okay? If you want to polish your nails, polish your nails. If you want to put some makeup on, put some makeup on. Because who's going to check you? You ain't got no boss. You are your own person. Challenge your conditioning. Challenge the lessons you've been taught throughout your entire life. Challenge those thoughts. And if they do not resonate with you as you think they should, think about why that is. Unpack why that is. And think about if you would be happier if you decided to live more authentically. I 100% assure you that you would be. So going forward, I hope that men will take their power back and make their birthdays whatever they want it to be. Whether it's going out with your girlfriend, going out by yourself to dinner, or going on a fishing trip or a solo vacation. Your birthday is the one day that you are allowed to do whatever it is you want to do. So let me know what you all think about the conversation that's taking place on TikTok. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be back hopefully later this week with another What Took TikTok this week. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.